So there's a big, huge issue in Cavan too that I probably never talked about before, but now obviously it's been talked about with the election, which is great that it's been talked about, and hopefully maybe there'll be something done about it because it is a very important thing to bring up, and particularly as I say, it relates to elderly people who worked all their life, who contributed all their life to the state, and now they're in retirement, if that makes any sense. And the state should give something back to them. What I mean by that is, in terms of a lot of elderly people, some people don't drive. Take for example my father; he doesn't drive. He doesn't have a car. He had a license back in the day, but he's an old man now. He doesn't have any way of basically getting around. Basically, that makes sense. So he relies on a bus that brings him in, but he has to walk to get the bus. And the issue in Cavan, particularly around this area, Cavan town area, Butters Bridge area, around this area, and even other parts of Cavan, is there's only about one bus on a Wednesday, and you have to sign up for it, etc., etc. And it's not that big of a bus; it only goes once a week, once in the morning on a Wednesday, and then comes back at even about 4 o'clock. So, long story short, and it obviously brings the elderly people to the door of their house too, which is great compared to other buses like bus Air buses, etc., private buses, floods, etc., etc. You could be dropped down the road and have to walk maybe a kilometre up the road to get to your house. So what I'm trying to say is we should have special buses along with that bus because it's great that there is one service, but there should be more services and it should be more easier for people to access them. Uh, particularly elderly people, it should be more easier because at the moment it's really a free fall if you get a seat, etc., etc. Because again, it's only one bus a week in this part of Cavan, and there should obviously be more. There should be obviously more space, and obviously the bus should be more frequent, at least 3 or 4 times anyway. It wouldn't really, to be totally honest, it doesn't cost that much. In my opinion, it doesn't cost that much, and I don't see it costing. It's not going to cost a huge amount. For the state to run it. To be told, it wouldn't kill them. The one that I don't take even 4 times a week, it wouldn't kill them. Keep the one on the Wednesday, added one on a Friday. A lot of people particularly say Friday because Fridays, a lot of people collect their money, particularly pensions on the Friday. And a lot more things are happening on the Friday. Elderly people, get to meet the people they knew, etc., etc., have a chat. So a lot more activity on the Friday. So Friday would be a good day too, and to be totally honest, Monday too, and then add in another random day during the week. It would be good, and they can go around to people's houses and collect them and bring them back to the door, which is great, and it's a great service that we do have at the moment. But it's only on the Wednesday, as I say. So we do need to look at that because again, we can't expect elderly people to walk 100 miles to get to the nearest bus to get into town. If that makes any sense, we need to kind of be fair. We need to be reasonable, and particularly with Eamon Ryan and his campaign to destroy everything, to be all handy, with not having anybody have a cow, etc., etc. How in the name of God could an elderly woman, take for example, a woman in her 80s who has a petrol cow, how could she afford on a state pension to go and buy an electric car, take for example, if Eamon Ryan gets his way? The woman's not going to fly to collect her pension or going to fly to the shop. I know everybody would love to be able to fly around the place, but unfortunately that's not reality. And Eamon Ryan's fantasies maybe, and his dreams maybe, but it's not reality, and he needs to kind of wake up to that. But the main thing is, and I say we should get the buses, and I do think it'd be an important issue. In a few areas of Cavan, particularly around this area, as I say, it'd be an important issue for elderly people, not so much for you and me, the young generation. It goes unnoticed, but I do think it's something that does go unnoticed. Thankfully, it's getting a bit of attention now, but it's something that should be talked about a lot more. Because again, the elderly people have built this country. People in the 80s, people in the 70s, people have walked all their life, and we owe them something in return. Not even as like a government, as citizens of a country. We owe. And again, I was always brought up to respect the elderly people, respect people who's older than you. We should try and give them a bit of respect back and a bit of decency, and make sure that we can look out for them. They wouldn't have to take for example elderly people are not as fit as a lot of them are not as fit, have problems with the knees, etc., etc. So we should meet them halfway, and walk with them. And I can't foresee why it's an issue that this is only once a week. As I say, it should be more times a week. There should be a dedicated really service. To help elderly people in each county. They should be dedicated as one by the government. It should be. If right was right and wrong was wrong, it should be dedicated stuff in each county with a few buses. Obviously, the biggest issue there too would be getting the buses and the drivers, the usual crack. But it's something that does need to be addressed and we have to work it out. So let me know what you think. Subscribe more and bye.